Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Mary Miller and I own Mary Miller Art. I live in Sterling, Alaska. I have an art lab in Sterling, Alaska, and I enjoy teaching children and I enjoy teaching women and men in paint parties. So real quick, this is going to be a little something for moms, dads, even the kids, grandmas, grandpas, something you can do at home while we're kind of stuck inside again. And I'm going to give you a list of things that you can use just around your house to use as a covering. I use puppy pads. I buy them by the huge case, and so I've always got puppy pads around, and they absorb for me, and I use them over and over and over, but in demonstrations I like to use something clean. And also sometimes I use wrapping paper. So I'll put down like whatever holiday it is, throw some wrapping paper in the background, and that'll be fun. However, all the wrapping paper is still at the studio. I have grabbed just a few things from the studio to be able to do here at home to kind of break the monotony for you all. So some of the things that you can use around your home to cover would be parchment paper. You could tape it down so the kids won't get things messy. Make sure you do it underneath the edges of your table. You can even throw some stuff on the floor, some newspaper, wax paper, and like I mentioned, wrapping paper. You can also use the brown packing paper. I actually hit the mother lode when I went to a little place called Second Chances in Soldotna, Alaska, and I found a huge roll of brown wrapping paper, packing paper. It's nice and thick, and so I can cover my tables and it will last a very long time. So without further ado, let's get started. Today we are going to paint a snowman. I know I've shared with you some of my cards, my little snowman that I painted. These are watercolor. They're not finished yet. I'm just playing around, just kind of playing around with the watercolors and checking some things out. So I'll post some more pictures of the finished product. I'm thinking about maybe outlining this guy with black. So we'll see. Maybe throwing some birch trees in the background. I love drawing birch trees. So anyway, that's one of the things we're going to do today. We're going to do a snowman simply without a tracer. I've got it to where you can see it. So I'll be painting sideways, so give me grace. We're going to start out with a couple of colors. I really love this deep midnight blue by Deco Art, and then of course my titanium white, Snow White from Deco Art. I enjoy Deco Art paints. There are other craft paints that you can use. So I know Walmart will have some 50-cent craft paints, apple barrel. Those are great for this. So whatever you have, if you have primary colors along with some black and white, you can pull this off as well. So let's get started. I really enjoy this, and we're going to see how this background will look. So what we're going to do is we're going to use my 1-inch flat brush, and we're going to put a little bit of white and a little bit of the midnight blue. So you can see I have both sides covered. Let's do this side here and this side here. There we go. So let's get started. This is going to blend. Just keep dipping your brush. It'll give us a nice wintry background. I really enjoy this color. And the birch trees will really pop against it. I also like using the black and the white for a nice wintry scene. Mixes up a little bit of gray. Using the black and the white, so. Try to get your canvas covered as much as you can and no blobs of paint. Make sure that you smooth your paint out the best you can. The acrylic paint dries rather quickly. I do have my blow dryer fired up here, so I will be stepping away to blow dry so we can move on to the next step. So if you have any questions about anything, just drop them below in the comments. And this is not a live, obviously. The internet is a little sketchy out here where I'm at. I'm house sitting, And I'm actually right across the street from my son Andrew and my 5 grandchildren, his lovely wife. So I did make sure that I unlocked my sliding glass door over here in case my grandchildren decided to pop by. They have not done that, of course, without permission from their parents, and usually they would text me if they were coming. So, but just in case, so I don't have to step away from the painting. This is a 11 by 14 canvas. You can use whatever size canvas you want. Like I said, use paper if you want, even wood, or I don't know, a chair, anything you wish. I'll grab my sides later. I'm not too worried about my sides at the moment. I'll finish that up off camera. With videos, I like to kind of get to the point and get moving. All right. That look cute. I really like this background. Throw some more over here. It's hard to tell. I'm sitting down, so I may end up standing up. Trying to give my knee a rest. I'm gonna have to do some surgery probably, so I gotta baby this thing as long as I can. All right, we've got it going vertical, so it looks like maybe snow falling in the background. All right. Make sure that you go completely to the end before lifting up your brush, or starting, that way you don't have a brush mark where you stopped or started. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to take my brush, set it in some water, and I'm going to go blow dry. So enjoy the little snowman. Talk amongst yourselves. Alrighty. It's not all the way dry, but it's plenty dry. Hope you have your favorite drink. I do. Coffee. A little Irish creamer in it. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my round. Okay. And get it primed up here in some water. Flick some water on my canvas. I keep some towels, buy them at secondhand stores. Found this wonderful little place called Second Chances, like I mentioned before, and she had a ton of just towels in a Ziploc bag, so I bought them all. So here we go. Now I'm going to take some white because I'm going to outline my snowman. So I'll use the same plate. Okay. Yeah, let me get some water out of this brush. Okay. Now you can use something that you have around the house to trace. Okay. I don't have anything here at the moment, so I'm just going to freehand it. So I'm going to grab some white here. Okay. And I like to twist it right along the plate, my palette. And it comes to a point. All right, here we go. We're going to make this guy probably about 1.5 inches from the bottom, okay? Because then this is going to be kind of filled with background, birch trees, and some snow. So let's get started. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, okay? My 1.5 inches didn't happen, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to go within that circle. Okay, all that will be covered. Grab some more white, and let's do the head. All right, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start, keep flicking paint, but that's okay because we can blend that in later. I'm going to cover this in completely with white. Okay. And it's okay if we have the blue showing through, you know, the background, because that acts as shade. So it's okay. All right. Nice. We're going to add some dimension to him so he doesn't look so flat. So you're probably thinking, Mary, this guy, he doesn't look too hot right now. Trust me, he's going to look adorable. And the nice thing with this paint, it's so forgiving. If you feel like you've made a mistake, you can simply let it dry and paint over it, or do a little blending depending on what paint colors you're working with. All right, looks cute. He's a little wispy around the edges, which is perfect. Let's get this head in. It doesn't really take all that long, right? So like I said, you can use whatever. You don't have to use a canvas. Use whatever you have. Paint on anything. Anybody ever painted on furniture before? I have. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Now, the next step, we're going to let this dry, but we're going to start painting in our birch trees, okay? So we're going to use white. So I'm going to add some more because I'm going to need plenty. Okay? So here's our birch trees. They're going to start out just looking like lines. That's it. But that's okay. Trust me. All right. Just go down. I'm not going to take my brush off until I'm done with going down. Okay. Add some more paint. I want these to be bright white so that there will be contrast. So I am going to shade up my snowman so he will look like he's going to start blending into the background, but he won't. But it's going to make these guys pop. Okay. I'll catch my sides later so I know you can see those. That's okay. And I can do all that off camera, and then I'll post a nice pretty picture at the end. Okay, there we go. This is a thinner line. I'm simply taking off the pressure. Okay. Okay, now, time to paint this puppy in. Okay. There we go. Got some more. Paint this in down here. All right. Trust me, guys, this is all going to come together so cute. All right, we're going to keep doing this until we're done with our birch trees. And the nice thing about this video is you can stop it, you can pause it, so you can get caught up before going on to the next step. Okay. These birch trees will have to dry completely before I can add some details to them. Okay, let's do a real skinny one. Notice I'm pressing down on my brush, make it a little fatter. Brushes are amazing. All kinds of cool things you can do, and patterns, and the way things look and appear. It makes it look like you've worked on it for absolute hours. Okay. There we go. I could have used a wider brush for this, but it's okay. It's really challenging to paint sideways. Okay, so I hope everything's straight. I got rid of my little smudge from dropping paint. When you go over your acrylic paint and it's starting to dry, all you need to do is dip your brush in a little bit of water, get most of it off, and then go over your paint. Otherwise, your paint will want to start to pull away. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do this side since it's in front of me. Make sure that you drop your pictures in the comments when you're finished. Who is painting with me anyway? Would love to know. I'm using a canvas that has already been gessoed, so it's already primed. You can get your canvases, Michael's, Joann's, Walmart. I think they even have some in Kenai, I'm not sure. Check them out online. Okay, leave that be. Now, set my brush in water over here so it doesn't get ruined. If you don't have time to clean your brush, just drop it in water and leave it until you want to go back and clean it up. I went ahead and cleaned this one up. All right. Talk amongst yourselves, folks, and I'm going to go blow dry again. Okay. We're going to work on the white a little bit more. I'm going to use a smaller flat, about a 1/2 inch flat brush. And I'm going to go back in and use a little bit of white from over here, from this stash, and just a little bit of this blue. Just a little. And I'm going to just start going in and cleaning things up a little bit. Create some shadow. Don't have to use a lot. Okay. You know, snow does have a blue tone. This makes it pretty cool. All right. Just play with it till you think you got it the way you want it. This is your snowman, nobody else's. No judgment zone here. I know my students know that about me. I have the best homeschool students in the world. We've closed down classes for now till November 30th. So maybe get some of these kiddos well and get them back. So meanwhile, let's just do a little online fun. All right, I will be going back again and doing some more shading with some black. So, what do you think? Pretty neat, huh? All right, let's go ahead and set that brush aside in some water and pull out my 1 inch. Let's see, let's do a round. Let's do his hat. Okay, we're gonna do his hat in black, and we'll see what happens here. This is lamp black from Deco Art. Don't need a whole lot. And I'm gonna use smaller detail. Okay, this is a little flat. This is a 1/4 inch flat. And I'm going to drop this just in a little bit of black so I can get a nice fine line. Okay. Both sides. Brings my flat to a point. All right. And let's see. Let's go across. Okay, like so. You're saying, Mary, is this going to get better? Oh yeah, it's going to get better. Okay, here we go. I hope y'all can hear me okay. I'm kind of soft-spoken. All right, let's go. Let's do... What do you think? Okay, now let's start coloring this in all black. He's got a little bit of twist to his hat up at the top. Looks pretty neat, pretty snazzy. That's why it's important that we have our paint dry before we add another layer of different color, because it will blend. Now there's sometimes we want it to blend and it's okay. I'm going to pick this up and kind of move it so it's easier to work. Feel free to do that. Always pick up your painting, move it around where you can get to it. All right. Some little spots that need to be filled. Very good. You can make your hat however you want and whatever color you want. All right, now let's do some magic here to make this hat look like it goes all the way around his head. Okay. All right, that's one side. And let's do the other side. And just play with it. Pretty neat, huh? All right, let me take a look. Okay. We can fine tune him up later. So now, let's work on a scarf. So let's clean this brush, because this is the brush we're going to use. And the color of his scarf is going to be red. And you're probably wondering, when are you going to do the birch trees? Well, we'll do them. It's just not that right step yet. And I'm going to use Santa Red. My favorite Christmas color for red is Tuscan Red for anything Christmas. My Tuscan Red is at the studio. So unfortunately, we're going to go with Santa Red, which is fine. All right. And it's by Deco Art as well. Right now, I'm going to draw this out with the red. So I have my fine line again with my 1/4 inch flat. Okay, 1/4 inch flat. Right now, what we're going to do is decide where we want our scarf, and we're just going to draw it out in shapes, okay? Just a few shapes at a time. So let's go with this. Okay, we'll do that. Grab some more red. And let's go down there. Let's go down here. And let's try to make that meet. All right. Now let's paint it in. Okay. Now this scarf will probably have stripes or maybe polka dots. Depends, we'll decide that later. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay. Give yourself some grace and patience. Just take your time. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? Now let's drop his scarf down. Let's see. Let's drop it down here. Okay, close it up. Now let's paint that in. Just a long rectangle. Nothing fancy. It's just a matter of putting shapes together. All right. And when this dries, which shouldn't take long, you can always add another coat. Or we don't have to. All right, now let's go. Let's see. Let's go down even longer. This is a nice long scarf. Once it's tied, right? Just connecting the dots here. Anybody can do this. You saw I didn't have a tracer. You don't need a tracer. If you want something to get your circles round, find something at home. A plate, a saucer, a cup. Grab a drink. Okay. Grab that. All right, what do y'all think? Who's painting with me? This is a free tutorial for anyone who wishes to have it. Feel free to share this. All right, pretty cool. Now, let's give this, I'm gonna clean my brush. We're gonna give it some little tassels, but we're gonna use a different brush. Use a teeny tiny little detail brush. Okay, and we're going to use the red, of course. Okay, and here we go. We're going to take it and we're going to touch the end, but then we're going to wisp it out. Wisp, wisp, wisp. And we'll do 3s. Okay. Wisp, wisp, wisp. Pretty cool. No wisp. Okay. More wisp down here. Okay. Y'all like? Now, just clean your brush. Later, we're going to add some shading to all that. Like I said, so it doesn't look so flat. All right. Now, we'll let that dry and step away for a little bit, and we'll come back for part 2. See y'all soon.